The cold steel pressed against his throat, and a voice whispered that he had until the new moon to settle the outpost's debts or die.
This isn't my body. The last thing I remember was the crosswalk in Tokyo.
The ledger lay open, a graveyard of failed merchants who had written this place off as a tomb.
1 month. They'll bury me beside this dry well and no one will care. Wait, that rock face. I've seen those glints before. In another life.
The desert was paved in iron ore, borax, and silica. All the raw ingredients of an industrial miracle baked in the sun.
I was a metallurgical engineer. I can smelt steel that makes Damascus look like scrap.
To start, he needed water. He remembered the Qanat, an underground channel to tap the hidden aquifer.
1 month. I'll make this graveyard a forge, and when they return, they'll beg to buy from me.
The new moon would bring either his death or his empire. He chose empire.
First, water. Without it, the furnace is just a pile of mud.
He broke ground with his own hands, swinging the mattock into sun-baked soil. The 3 camels watched, indifferent, as if they knew the sand's death toll.
By midday, my palms are raw. But Tokyo had its own kind of blister. This one I can feel.
Day 2. The channel deepened, but the water table was still a rumor. On the 3rd afternoon, his body gave out. He dropped the mattock and collapsed beside the trench.
I could just lie here. The new moon isn't that far off.
Then he remembered the ledger, the weight of the blade. He crawled back to his feet. The next strike bit into damp earth. Then another. A dark seam appeared. Water seeping into the trench.
It's here. It's actually here. Now the real work begins.
The scent of wet earth drifted out of the trench. It brought an old man from the shadows of the outpost.
You actually found water in this graveyard.
It was always there. I just borrowed it for a while.
I haven't seen purpose in this sand for years. Let me help.
Together, they extended the Qanat, channeling the aquifer into a steady flow. Farid's gnarled hands moved with surprising speed. With water secured, Kazu turned to the riverbank. He began shaping clay bricks from the silt for a kiln.
And what will you burn in this oven? There's no grain to bake.
Not grain, iron. The sand will become steel.
The first kiln dried under the sun, but the heat cracked its walls before the first flame. He sealed the cracks with fresh clay. At dawn, a test fire flickered inside, and the kiln stood strong. Farid watched, a new light in his old eyes. He fed the kiln with iron ore and charcoal, working the bellows until the flames roared white-hot.
The ratio must be exact. One mistake, and it's just brittle cast iron.
The first billet shattered under the hammer. The iron was too brittle, full of sulfur and arrogance.
Master Kazu, the new moon is coming. Maybe we ask the merchants for an extension.
The impurities must be drawn out. Borax as flux, silica to bond. I need to test the slag.
He tried a dozen ratios. Some melts were too soft. Others still shattered. Each night the moon grew thinner. On the 7th attempt, the slag ran clean. Kazu poured the molten metal, his hands shaking from more than heat.
If this one fails too, the creditors won't need a sword. My own heart will stop from the shame.
When he pulled the billet from the mold, it sang. The hammer struck and it rang, solid and true.
Farid, it's iron that doesn't shatter. Now we make enough to show them. Iron is useful, but crucible steel, that's what makes empires kneel.
He sealed iron and carbon in airtight clay pots, pushing the furnace to a heat no one in this era could match.
Farid, watch the melt. If it bubbles too fast, pull it back.
Master, this metal, it patterns like water under moonlight. I've never seen such a thing.
The first crucible steel ingot emerged with a wavy pattern that promised a legend. Damascus would be jealous.
And with pure silica sand, I can make glass. Clear, flawless glass, the likes of which the Silk Road has never seen.
He built a smaller furnace and gathered the purest sand. Then, with a long blowpipe, he shaped molten glass for the first time.
No merchant from Cathay to Persia has seen anything like this. They will come from everywhere, master.
Shelves filled with gleaming steel ingots and delicate glassware. a stockpile that could arm a kingdom and illuminate a court.
A stockpile any caravan would kill for. But first, we wait for the right one.
The dust cloud on the horizon wasn't a storm. It was a lost caravan, desperate for water and a road.
Outpost, Master. We're off course. Give us water and we'll be gone.
Stay a moment. I have something that might change your route.
This metal. No, it can't be. The pattern is too perfect.
She drew a testing file from her belt. The steel refused to yield a single scratch.
Name your price. Outpost, Master. I'll take every ingot you have.
Silver for steel. And swear you'll tell the next caravan about Asware.
I'll do more than swear. I'll bring traders from the eastern kingdoms.
By nightfall, the camels were burdened with ingots and glass. The first coin of Asware's fortune clinked into the strongbox.
Let them come. Every road in this desert will bend here now.
Word of Asware's steel traveled faster than any camel. Within weeks, caravans arrived laden with silk and silver.
I told you, Master Kazu. The eastern kingdoms are hungry for your goods.
He expanded the workshop, hiring every able hand. Farid barked orders at the new recruits.
You mix the flux until it turns to glass. Don't ask about the white powder, that's the master's secret.
Divide the process. No worker knows the full formula. If one talks, they have nothing.
The outpost grew. Stone buildings, a bustling market, a strong qanat. It looked like a town.
You are too curious. Put that journal down and get back to the bellows.
But at night, by the kiln's glow, workers whispered. How did a penniless outpost master forge steel beyond Damascus?
They're not wrong to ask. But the answer remains buried with my old life.
Asware thrived, but its secret attracted shadows from far away. A column of Imperial soldiers appeared at dawn. Their envoy, Wrath, rode at the front with a sealed scroll and a sneer.
Step aside, gate guard. I have a royal decree for the outpost master of this mud pit.
Kazu came to the gate, his expression unreadable. He had expected this visit for weeks.
Outpost Master Kazu, by order of the Empire, you will share your steel-making process. Refuse, and you'll regret it.
A royal decree. They think they can just take what I built from sand and memory. This outpost is not a vassal. Your empire has no claim on my furnaces or my mind. I refuse.
Then I'll bring enough soldiers to take them. Your little mud walls won't stand a siege.
The soldiers gripped their swords. Wrath's smirk didn't waver, but Kazu didn't blink either.
Leave now, Wrath, and tell your emperor. Asware's steel cuts both ways.
Wrath wheeled his horse and rode off, but his laugh promised he'd return with fire. That night, a shadow slipped past the guards and crept toward the main kiln. A torch flickered in his hand. Before the flame could touch the clay, a hand seized the saboteur's wrist. The torch fell.
I knew Wrath wouldn't wait long. He sends a rat to do his work.
The saboteur struggled, but Kazu's grip was forged from months of swinging a mattock. Under interrogation, the spy revealed that Wrath held Imperial immunity. No accusation would stick. Kazu tied him up, but the spy's words lingered. Wrath would deny everything and the Empire would shield him.
Political immunity. Even if I catch the snake's tail, its head remains beyond my reach.
He released the saboteur at the gate, a warning on his lips, and a plan forming in his mind. The kiln survived the night, but Wrath's shadow still darkened Asware's horizon.
I need a different kind of steel for this enemy. One that cuts through politics and imperial favor.
Miriam found him at the forge, the failed torch still smoking on the floor.
Wrath has Imperial immunity, but Commander Vash does not answer to the same throne. He's a soldier, not a politician.
And why would a commander care about an outpost's steel?
Because his army needs weapons. Show him your best blade, and he'll arbitrate this himself.
3 days later, Commander Vash arrived. His scarred face and curved sword spoke of 100 battles.
I hear your steel is sharper than any in the Empire. Prove it to me, and I'll judge the envoy's claims.
Name your test. I'll forge a sword tonight and put it against whatever you bring.
Vash drew a blade of Damascus steel, its pattern like rippling water. and laid it on the table.
Tomorrow at noon, your steel against this. If you win, Wrath's immunity means nothing in my camp.
A crowd would gather. The fate of Osweir would rest on a single edge. At noon, the outpost's main square filled with traders, workers, and soldiers. Commander Vash held the Damascus blade aloft.
Enjoy your last moment of relevance. Outpost Master. That foreign steel will shatter like your reputation.
Kazu walked through the parting crowd, his best blade still wrapped in linen. He had not slept. The cloth fell. Osweir's crucible steel caught the sun, a pattern deeper than Damascus, a promise of unyielding edge.
Please let this blade hold. We've buried enough failures in the sand.
A pretty pattern won't save you.
It's not the pattern, it's the soul.
Vash raised his scarred hand. The square fell so silent you could hear the wind. The Damascus and the crucible steel faced each other, tip to tip. Then, with a sound like a hammer on an anvil, the swords met. Sparks exploded across the sand, blinding the first row. The sparks faded. Kazu's blade had sheared through Damascus cleanly, the broken tip buried in the sand.
The old sand finally gave us something that didn't break.
This is a trick. Cheap metal cannot defeat Damascus. He must have tampered with the blade.
Silence. I held both blades. Your Emperor's steel is trash. The Outpost's steel is truth.
Vash raised the victorious blade, its pattern unbroken. The crowd erupted into cheers.
From this day, Osweir's steel is the standard of my legions. No envoy can claim otherwise.
One battle won, but the war for my secrets has only begun.
As for you, Wrath, your sabotage attempt will not go unpunished. Guards escort him to the eastern fort.
Wrath was dragged away, his smothered protest swallowed by the crowd's roar.
They'll tell this story from Cathay to Persia. Master Kazu, no caravan will ever skip Osweir again.
As the crowd dispersed, Vash pulled Kazu aside. A pact needed sealing.
You've proven your worth, Outpost Master. From this day, I leave a detachment to garrison Osweir. An attack on you is an attack on my command.
A garrison binds me to him, but it binds Wrath's empire too. I can use this.
A formal decree was drafted. Osweir gained military protection and trade autonomy, a shield against imperial greed.
Wrath will stand trial for sabotage and attempted theft. His immunity ended the moment he crossed my jurisdiction.
This is not justice. This is a warlord protecting his supplier.
The cell door slammed shut. Wrath's scheming echoed off the stone walls, unanswered. At dawn, Vash prepared to depart. Behind him, Osweir's walls now flew his banner.
Your steel will arm my legions, Master Kazu. In return, no imperial decree will touch this outpost. You have my word.
Osweir traded a death sentence for a shield. But shields can become cages if you stop watching the horizon.
Within a month, every major trade route bent toward Osweir. Caravans choked the eastern gate like a river of silk and silver.
Master Kazu, there's a line of camels from Persia waiting to trade. We need more stock.
The workers can't keep up. Even with the new apprentices, the crucibles run night and day.
Every new hand is a risk. Every extra hour is a chance for someone to see too much.
He built new furnaces, trained more smiths, but the secret remained his alone. A single slip and the Empire would swallow them whole.
Farid, remind them. The flux mixture stays in this room. No one writes it down. No one speaks of it outside these walls.
They're loyal, but tongues loosen with silver. I've heard whispers in the market.
If I tighten too much, I strangle production. If I relax, I lose everything. There is no safe middle.
That night, a foreman was caught selling a scrap of crucible recipe to a foreign trader. Kazu had him whipped at the gate. The message was clear. Osweir's secrets were not for sale. But the cost of vigilance was eating Kazu from within. Miriam strode into the workshop, a freshly stamped contract in her hand. The Eastern Guilds had finally responded.
I've secured a contract with the Eastern Guilds. They'll buy every finished blade, every glass vessel we produce.
Only finished products leave Asware. No raw ingots, no unfinished glass. They can't reverse engineer what they can't see.
The deal was struck. Asware's monopoly now stretched from the mountains to the sea, unbroken by middlemen.
Between your steel and my routes, we'll drain silver from every kingdom on the Silk Road.
But that night, a guild agent waylaid a glassblower behind the kilns, offering 20 silver for a scrap of the secret. Kazu intercepted them before dawn. The glassblower wept, but the silver still jingled in his pouch.
Take his apron. Let him beg at the gate so every trader remembers what happens to those who sell my trust.
The worker was cast out. The outpost walls seemed to tighten around everyone who remained.
Another knife aimed at my back. How long before I become the tyrant they all fear?
Commander Vash presided over the trial. Soldiers and merchants crowded the square as Wrath was dragged before them.
For sabotage and conspiracy, Wrath is exiled and branded. He will be cast out forever.
This is not over. Exile only delays my revenge.
A hot iron pressed against his palm, and Wrath was pushed through the eastern gate, never to return. Weeks later, a lone Imperial rider arrived at the gate with a sealed scroll and no soldiers. The Empire formally apologizes for Wrath's actions and offers Asware open trade. No tariffs, no demands.
No tariffs, no demands. The Empire is scared, but trust is a luxury I never had. Tell your Emperor, we accept his pact, but my furnaces remain closed. Asware trades finished goods, not secrets.
Scrolls were exchanged. For the first time, an empire bowed to a desert outpost.
A fragile peace, bought with steel. We'll see how long it holds.
Commander Vash returned with a scroll that outweighed any previous deal, the official commission of the Eastern Legion.
Master Kazu, I need 10,000 swords, 5,000 shields, and armor for every soldier. Asware will be my armory.
10,000 swords. Every kingdom will depend on Asware for survival. This is power. You will have them. But no outsider enters my forge. Only sworn hands touch the crucibles.
By week's end, Asware transformed. Barracks rose beside furnaces, and the sound of hammers never ceased. He trained a corps of smiths, bound by oath and fear, but the final formula remained locked in his mind alone.
Your steel will be the backbone of my army. No enemy will stand against us.
Caravans of raw ore entered, and long lines of armored soldiers exited. Asware had become a military artery.
Now no one dares touch this outpost. We are the sword that arms the world. But every blade forged is a chain binding me tighter to a throne I do not sit upon.
Delegations from 3 empires arrived, their silks brushing the dust of Asware. Kazu had called a summit, and they came.
Even the Western Emperor's cousin is here. Half of them are scared, the rest are plotting.
Let them plot. They can't plan for what comes next.
He led them to the river, where a massive wooden frame loomed. A wheel turned by the canet's flow powered a hammer that struck with rhythmic precision.
This hammer forges steel day and night without rest. Faster, purer, and it never betrays a secret.
If Asware's production triples, no empire on Earth can match it. He holds the future in his hands.
That evening, envoys whispered in corners, some offering marriage pacts, others trade alliances. None dared threaten.
Master, they call you the Oasis King now, but they fear what you'll invent next more than any army.
They're right to fear, because every new machine widens the gap they cannot cross.
He stood on the balcony, the desert night swallowing the last of the caravans. His solitude was the price of his throne. The morning after the summit, Kazu selected 5 workers from the forge floor and led them to a private workshop.
You will learn every step except the final mixing of powders. That secret dies with me.
They're the best we have, Master. Loyal, if not brilliant.
For weeks, the apprentice program ran smoothly. Kazu taught smelting, shaping, and quenching, but never the why. One young apprentice, Ali, kept asking why borax was added. Kazu saw the same hunger he once had.
Too curious. He'll piece it together in a year. I can't risk it.
The next morning, Ali was told to pack his tools. He would manage a new outpost branch a month's journey east.
He could have been your right hand, Master. You sent away a mirror of your younger self.
A mirror shatters when you hold it too close. He'll build a forge for us in the east, not a rival. The legacy is the steel, not the teacher. I'll rule this trade and leave only shadows behind.
Miriam entered his private chamber at dusk, a single scroll in her hand and an unreadable expression on her face.
Kazu. Merge our houses, my routes, your steel. As husband and wife, we would own the Silk Road.
One person who could demand the secret under the law. One bribe that could unravel everything. And what would you demand in this union? The formula for crucible steel.
I am not wrath. I only ask for trust. Not your secret, never that.
Trust is the most expensive gift. It can be broken. I can't afford to break again. I cannot. My secrets must die with me. This is the price I pay for Asware's survival.
Then you will have your throne of steel. And I will have my caravans. Alone, but not enemies. Never that.
She left the scroll on his desk and walked out. Kazu did not watch her go.
Every empire needs a queen. Mine has a forge fire instead.
Years hollowed the desert wind, but Asware grew into a city of stone and fire. Its walls held the wealth of 3 continents. Kazu stood on the highest balcony, his hair touched with gray, watching the Silk Road pulse with life he had created.
Every road still bends here. Even the new empires can't ignore this fire.
A messenger climbed the stairs, breathless. A spy from the old empire had been caught trying to breach the inner workshop. The spy had carried Wrath's seal, a final gambit from exile.
Even from the grave, he reaches. But my walls are deeper than his spite.
The spy was exiled into the deep desert. The formula remained untouched, known only to a single mind. Caravans still choked the eastern road, oblivious to the war fought in shadow. The forges never cooled.
The world depends on my steel, and it will never know why.
As long as his heart beat, the secret would never leave Asware. The desert kept its ghost. Late that night, Kazu descended from the balcony and walked through the empty corridors of his palace.
The ghosts of Tokyo are quieter now, but they still whisper when I am alone.
He sat at the desk and opened a worn leather journal, its pages filled with formulas and diagrams. The complete formula. Every ratio, every temperature, every impurity threshold. No other copy existed.
I added a note for a new alloy tonight. Something the world won't need for another century.
He closed the journal and slid it into a hidden compartment behind a loose stone in the wall. No apprentice knew of this chamber. No ally suspected its existence.
The real Asware isn't the forges or the caravans. It's this ink and paper.
He blew out the candle and returned to the balcony. The desert stretched black and infinite under the stars. He had turned sand into steel, and steel into an empire. But the secret would remain sand, buried in the mind of a dead man from a world that no longer existed.